This guy I started seeing on Tinder spent our whole date mansplaining to me how women's brains were smaller than men's and how we are naturally inferior. I'm gonna kill somebody. See, this guy's crap is making me sick. But that was okay according to him because that's why we were biologically attracted to men. So we had someone to take care of us. Yeah, bye boy, you're single for a reason. I would slap this guy so hard. Like, okay, I don't use my brain, but I can definitely use my fist. You want to see? Anyways, what's up guys? Thanks so much for coming back for another fun video. As always, don't forget to subscribe, be a part of the Socially Awkward family, and follow me on Instagram. Links are down below. And give this video a like and a share with all of your friends, please. But yeah, today we are reacting to Tinder horror stories. Some are scary and some are just really bad dates. It's gonna be fun. So comment below your worst date ever and let's get back to it. He got food poisoning. Ooh. At my house. I just got that like a month ago and it sucks. He was in the bathroom exploding from both ends for hours. And then he snuck out without cleaning up any of his mess. You trash person! That is so rude and disgusting. Ugh. I would hire somebody to clean that. Honestly, I would not even touch it. On our fourth date, we went back to his place to watch football. We were on the couch and cuddling. Ooh, I like cuddling. He had his arm around me. He must have been disappointed that I was actually watching the football because I looked over his shoulder and he was on Tinder literally behind my back looking for his next date. Then he asked me when I wanted to see him next. Let me think about it. Never. Bye. Get out. Or I'll leave because it's your place. My buddy isn't the smartest guy. Well, that's a good way to introduce him. He picked up a Tinder date and they arranged to go to a motel to play some Monopoly because it was safer than going to either person's house for a hookup. Okay, that is a good idea. If you just met somebody and you want to have some Monopoly time, go to a motel or something. Because you don't know them, you don't know how freaky they are or if they're a murderer, so don't go back to their place. As they were walking into the room, the girl goes, "Oh shoot, I forgot my purse. Mind if I go back and grab it?" He says sure and tosses her his keys. 5 minutes later, he wonders what's taking her so long and goes outside and his car is gone. The cops found it a week later, but they never caught her. Well, at least you got it back, but yeah, that was pretty stupid of you. A guy I met on Tinder and I got a bit drunk in a bar and proceeded to heavily make out against a wall in a back alley. Well, that's classy. All of a sudden, my legs feel wet. He was so drunk, he was peeing on me. Peeing on her, guys. I deleted all my dating apps after a long shower and swore to never drink again. Yeah, that's a good tip. I wondered why my dates seemed to be rushing everything during dinner. After about an hour, I got my answer when his second date showed up. He'd organized to meet another Tinder date for dessert. Boy, I always want dessert. Don't think I'm gonna skip out on cake. I mean, if you're just meeting somebody for the first time, you're not exclusive, you're not boyfriend and girlfriend, so I don't see the problem with dating other people if you're just meeting them, but on the same night, come on, give it 24 hours, or at least 8. After a fairly normal dinner, he asked if I wanted to go out for dessert. I said yes, because dessert, right? Yes, girl. Yeah. Comment below your favorite dessert. I love talking about food. After I'd ordered a triple chocolate fudge sundae, this girl knows how to order. I turned to him and asked what he wanted. Oh no, he says, I can't eat all that stuff. It's not a cheat day. Okay, great. Wishing he had told me this before we had gone to dessert. I took my over-the-top sugar creation and felt like a fat person knowing he was just gonna watch me eat it. Just before I take my first spoonful, he snatches the sundae away from me, pulls it up close to his face, and gives it a big, long, deep sniff. He says in a satisfied, almost creepily way, "I'm good now," and passes it back to me. I have never not wanted to eat ice cream any less. Well, that's just weird. I mean, if you're trying to be healthy, that's fine. Tell me, oh yeah, I'm just not gonna have dessert. I'm not in the mood. Don't try to make me feel bad and then sniff my food without even asking. Like, I get it, you go to the gym and it ain't working. We were sitting on his balcony having drinks when all of a sudden there's a pounding on the door. It's the mop. I know it's probably super bad when he shrinks into his chair and doesn't make a move to answer it. Then we hear, "I know you're home. Let me in, you piece of crap. Are you with her?" I look at him, eyes wide, as he sheepishly explains his ex is a bit unstable and refuses to believe they've broken up. After 5 minutes, the knocking stops. Less than a minute later, the shouting starts up again, except this time it's coming from the fence in front of us. Then she climbs over the fence, still screaming at him, climbs up the drain pipe and over onto the balcony. This girl is strong. Don't date an Olympian if you don't expect him to come after you. I sit there in silence as they have a full-on domestic. I go to leave and then he yells at me, telling me to sit down because the ex would be leaving immediately. Then he shouts at the ex for upsetting me. I ended up being stuck there for an hour because they were blocking the door, and unlike her, I didn't have balcony climbing skills. Yeah, when it comes to, new dates and you go to their place, never let them block you from the exit. In any situation, you should always have an immediate route to the door. And don't let them lock it either. That time my Tinder date was arrested for shoplifting after we'd been walking around a night market, and I was held for questioning as a potential witness. Well, that's always fun. That's on my bucket list. No, it's really not. I was on a third date with a guy I met on Tinder. The date was ending and I wasn't really feeling it and was gearing up to be an adult and explained to him that I wasn't interested in seeing him again, and then he gets a call. His grandma died. I sat in his car while he spent an hour on the phone with his mom crying. Yeah, that's a little awkward. So, honestly, I would give that at least a day. Just give it a day until he at least stops crying, and then tell him that you're not interested in seeing him anymore. And you're really sorry about his grandma. I asked how long he'd been on Tinder for. He said just 2 weeks, which I thought was cute until he followed it up with, "We don't really have the internet in prison, and Tinder was really a big thing when I went in." So, is he still in prison on Tinder, or did he just get out 2 weeks ago? Either way, no. How long was he in prison? For what? Girl, you better ask what he did. I dated this girl a while back and her dad hated me. Which is odd because parents usually love me. Her parents ended up getting divorced and we split up. Fast forward about 2 years later and I am dating this amazing girl from Tinder. She asked me to meet her mom and her stepdad, and I am over the moon as it turns out we are both huge Kansas City Chiefs fans. Well, screw me if it wasn't the same father as my ex-girlfriend. Well, that's a hoot. Well, if you were nice to your ex-girlfriend, then he knows you're a good boyfriend. I met this guy on Tinder and we went back to my house for sexy times. It was a one-night stand, so we don't see each other again. A few weeks later, my flatmate notices our shed door is open and goes in there to find the guy passed out on a pile of rags. Turns out he'd seen the shed when he was over and had been using it to sleep in and take drugs. We called the cops and it turns out there was a warrant out for his arrest. Well, he's a catch. Definitely take him to go introduce to mom. So what, there's a little drugs. I'm kidding, that's a bad idea. I went over to this guy's house for what I thought was a date. Turns out he wanted me to babysit his autistic child while he got high and played Xbox. I should have left, but I was worried what would happen to the kid if I did. You know what you do? You call the cops and CPS and get the kid out of there. I'm slightly on the large side and I don't try to hide it. So I was talking to a nice guy on Tinder and we hit it off straight away. We met up at a bar, he saw me and the first words he said to me were, "Oh, I didn't know you were fat." So I turned around and walked out. Heck yeah, get out of there. Literally, who actually calls someone fat to their face if you're not in middle school? That is so mean. I would have punched this guy. Like, screw you, have you looked in a mirror lately? My bestie went out with this guy to get coffee one afternoon. By the time it was dark, they were still talking, laughing, and having a great time, and he suggested they go for a walk. They walk along the main street and he turns into a park. She says she has to head back soon, but he just keeps saying, "A little further, just a little further." That's weird. She feels really awkward but is still going along with it until the moment he turns off the path and starts off in a direction that isn't an actual trail, just right into the woods. Thank God she had the guts to stand her ground and tell him she was leaving with or without him. I mean, he might have had innocent intentions and just not realized how creepy he was being. Or, they might have found a dead body in the woods the next day. Yeah, seriously, you need to be so careful when you're meeting new people. You need to give it at least a few dates and really get to know the person and their past before you go do adventurous things like go hiking in the mountains where nobody can see you and there's not very good cell reception, or going on a vacation together in a cabin that's secluded. Seriously, it sounds fun and like they're trying to be different, but keep your safety in mind and just be careful. Meet for coffee in the middle of the day on the first date, where plenty of people can see you. En route to the worst date ever, this guy texted me from the burrito place we were meeting to tell me he'd already ordered me the salad. I repeat, salad at a burrito place. Yeah, that's messed up. Also, was this the past? Was I now incapable of placing my own food order? Anyway, after arriving with my salad ready, besides his plate of tacos, he spent the next half an hour telling me about his model ex-girlfriend. The final straw was, even after telling him I wasn't a big fan of smoking, he literally asked a stranger for cigarettes and then chain smoked them beside me. You ordered a salad for me at a burrito place? What's wrong with you? I'll take your tacos, thank you, and you can have my salad. And you can go back to your model ex-girlfriend. Tacos and burritos are like amazing. There's no way I would pick a salad over that. Girl, you eat that taco. Screw him. And that is it for Tinder horror stories. Those were awesome. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, don't forget to subscribe, be part of the Socially Awkward family, and follow me on Instagram. Links are down below. And give this video a like and a share. And yeah, that's it. So please be safe out there, and I will see you beautiful people next time.